So
it's actually useful for you to have done this because that has brought you to the attention of the security services for all the people who attends to who were involved with that conference. So,
right.
therefore, an officer of Avix Security is assigned to investigate your inquiry. His name is
Okay.
Olmac.
OMAC?
Olmac. The same fellow who we've already seen in play.
Right. Okay.
And at the moment, I cannot imagine that you don't have a notable scary lady friend.
Like an actual like wife or just some type of heavy?
That's up to you.
I know. Well, he probably has like, a family. Just because, he is, one of the people and, he's probably grown up where it's like, okay, here's my family, we
Right.
do our blue collar thing, we go to work, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But now that you mentioned it, it would be handy to have like maybe the heavy, like the that true believer who's ready to bust heads and stuff when things happen. That would be handy to have such a person.
Whose name is Nlaloc. Nlaloc.
Nlanoc?
No, Nlaloc.
LOC. Okay. Okay. Yep. So yeah, she is probably the right hand person, or whenever we're like on maybe like a strike line, they're the heavy, they're the
right,
they're the ones standing behind me as I'm making proclamations.
That's right. Oh, yep, exactly. So in this case, Nlaloc is shocked that that they're going to send one of the the upper ups in security. We're we need to be prepared for this guy. We need to be they think we're weak down here, without their weapons and their flight and everything like that. But we need to show this guy different. She is a very active shapeshifter, so that her her dark purple and jet black feathers, morph and shift around in different conformations, lengthen. She reaches for something, her arm lengthens when she when she bulks into position, to do a threat, she shape changes on the way, right? So right now, when she basically I'm going to say that you're at a social establishment where it seems as though you're just a client, but you hang out there a lot and get a lot of things done there.
It's the office,
right. Exactly,
the back table.
Exactly,
where,
and so
happen.
and as you're as you're kind of looking at this message, which is about how this Olmac and set of security officers are going to come and examine your inquiry, here. And she basically says, should we? She basically says they should never come here. They don't belong here. This isn't their place. And I'm sort of imagining she'll, with every couple of sentences, she kind of goes over this side.
Right.
And then,
right.
And her face kind of is subtly shifting as she's talking. She's saying, should we just take out one of them? Should we take out the top or the bottom? Just as the first message that these people need to get when they come here.
No.
I like playing Alec.
I know. I think they need to come down here, and I think this is where they belong. As long as they have a refuge that they can go back to, nothing's ever going to change. But if we're able to take away that refuge or become part of that refuge, we've made some strides. Now we can't start killing, not until they do something.
Ooh.
But what we can do is just illustrate a point to them. What I would suggest is just get some type of, I guess the equivalent to like filming it, some type of video cameras and stuff like that, because we want people to see them coming down here. We want people to see them being uncomfortable, being where you live, being where, you raise your family. We want them to see that, that's the only way it's going to change. If we start killing them, they're just going to send troops down here, and then it's no good for anyone. So, we'll greet them. We'll give them, what's the name of this area? The
Freetown?
Freetown hospitality. We'll ply them with food and beverage, and we're going to try to get them on our side. We can catch a lot more Avix with a sweet seed than we can with a busted head.
She swoops around, and if her feathers could be a cloak, they would be.
Right.
As she swirls around on her way out, and she says over her shoulder and says, "Sure. But while you're doing that, he says, the rest of us will be ready underneath."
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, and I will put my arm around her and kind of pull her in. I'll say, remember, all Avix should be allowed to touch the sky. That includes you. And that's probably one of.
She looks up and says, very much in a distracted way, "The sky." And looks at you deeply, and
right.
so that then she strides off, right? So she's going to try and do some organizing. Okay, excellent. You notice that you did say we won't start killing unless they start something.
Yes. Oh no!
She files that one away. Noted.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Carnivix, he will turn the other cheek.
Oh yeah.
Just so he can look in the direction of the so he can. He's got the what is it, the fist in the velvet glove. He's
We'll see what the dice have to say about all of that.
Yeah, true.
Okay. Here's the deal though. To this just kind of introductory as I get into the feel of the place. Is there any other activities before I jump in with some information? What other things then would each of you just plain do? Let's go back to Renee. What would you just do at this point once either with the offspring or after they're gone? Either one.
Just kind of dig deeper into, I guess we have to kind of make sure our own house is in order before. I'm very intrigued with the Kixicalls. I'd like to talk to her and find out more about, what she's learned. And
Yep.
Sorry, yeah. I missed the last couple of bits. It seems like from what I did hear is that maybe we should just pick up with Kixicall arriving.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So let's do it. Is this comfy space with the weapons and stuff? Is this where you also do a fair amount of work, or where would you be talking with Kixicall, do you think?
Yeah, I'm not sure how acquainted Kixicall is with me, so I might
You've met
seek her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd probably seek her out in her own space.
Oh, well, okay. I'm sorry. I was thinking that no, you guys are now going to be in the workspace.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Actually, it's a work day.
I can think of basically knocking and coming in while the kids are still there, and kind of being on my way out again with a sorry, I'll do something else until you're ready.
No, yeah. And I'll wave you in and kind of, wave them away, and we will talk.
They'll do their ritual and expected farewell posture. And then, of course, they will spread their magnificent wings and just launch themselves off the edge, to go somewhere, which is normal.
Yeah.
So yes, Kickskull, there you are, looking new.
I'm excited. I'm excited to learn from you. Bring back the many things that you've learned, so you can teach me. So talk to me. What was your experience?
I'm not sure what you would like to hear.
Well, I'd like to hear about these aliens and their proposal. I hear that we are going to start a new thing, where we're going to be a part of a bigger picture with these other races. And I'm curious to know your take on that.
So, you probably got the notes, so you're familiar with everybody who was there, the different groups. Which of the groups would you like to start with?
I would say that I'd like to start, I guess, run down the list. Who do you feel good about? I mean, everything. We can look at how it is in writing. But your intuition, your experiences speaking with these different groups, that's going to be different than what's in a report.
I really don't hope so. I really tried my best to get everything into the report. So, but you mean my personal ideas about all of this?
Yeah, your personal ideas. What do you feel?
Yes. So, I really, I think we managed to achieve something there, even though there is no official treaty. I don't think I'm the only one who had the feeling they could learn from the differences in society of the different groups. There is really a lot of still very confusing things, like groups that would, well, I'm not sure how to describe it. They didn't really seem to have a leader. They were...
That's perfect. Because we will be those leaders. We will form this group of equal voices, but there will be one that is strong. It will be ours. So that means,
Yes.
And I reach over and I get a big volume and I plop it down in front of you. These are Avix rules on how we govern. We will take these, we will modify them to include this new, what was this you had in here? Hive. Whatever this is, we will make sure that our role is prominent. We will be the ones that will gather all these races together.
Poor
we will
Hive.
be the one
Full of
dictating.
mercaps
Yes.
and Avixes subverting
Yes,
it.
exactly. So, but you must make sure that everyone has an equal voice, of course. But there must be a voice that speaks clearly, that induces action. That is what we will do. We will be decisive in moving this forward. And with what I hear the rumblings within our own ranks, this would be a keen opportunity to involve all, that they all have a place. So we will be creating a new branch involving all the others here. And I'm running it out, I like start drawing and I start making graphs. And I'm like,
Excellent.
different
We've got
roles for people
books,
and how
we've
they
got
fit.
graphs.
Yep.
And we've got,
And
even if, I'm curious to know what Kixcall will say, if anything, gets nervous and needs time to acclimate to other forms of decision making. Right there in her story. But I'm interested talking to those with cultural, right. You are, as it says here, you connect information instinctively. In fact, you have a solid trait in this regard. I'm going to cut to things just a little bit that, regardless of the multiple points of misunderstanding, which we've already seen demonstrated, despite those, both of you are consulting your preferred forms of information. You with your logical chains, you with your texts, and looking at what it says there. So these are starting to actually mesh as you start talking. Is that okay?
yeah, cool.
Okay.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Let's see. Let's just see how this works out. It's pretty easy, actually. It's 3 dice, 4 Hibu, and you may choose a trait. I think I see one that works really, really well. Point is, are you finding, for lack of a better word, an answer? Or a working model, a way of checking out, or organizing, justifying whatever it is that you and Kixcall will be discussing. So this is a Hibu roll, I think.
Okay. So I guess I'll use my wealth of knowledge trait.
Mm-hmm.
Just by going through all, all the experience I have in government,
Right.
and paperwork and dealing with different branches of the Avix. And I think one of the probably what makes the Avix unique and within compared to all the other races is how different they all are.
Right.
So,
yeah. All these different branches and types. And another interesting thing is that you also have these philosophical background. That's part of the wealth of knowledge, all these studying different ideologies and stuff like that. So all that stated, that's 5 dice, and you may choose to put in a pool die or 2 or however many as you see fit.
I think I'll just go with these 5 for now. Okay. Let's see what happens. Not a 1.
Oh, no.
3 2s, though.
Okay. They do that.
Well, the dice are a fickle mistress.
Mm-hmm.
They are. They hurt.
Right. So the trouble is that you end up arriving at the same ultimate prevailing assumption that is rock solid. It can't be shaken with all these changes, but it all comes back to this being there. And that is the continued policy of expansion onto worlds, fully controlling them ecologically and in terms of populations. It just seems absolutely embedded that anything you reference, anything you try to model, you guys will spend all day on this, right? Books are opened, charts are drawn. We have low tech and high tech, right? All over the place. And each time it's like, but this is always there, right? There is no part of the modeling that eliminates that or does without it. So you're very stuck on this one. So this particular mode of analysis doesn't seem to be working. Kixcall will probably realize this before Hibu does.